Now, Sanskrit is a holy language. It's a language only used for chanting, for religious purposes, and for yoga. And any of you who have practiced yoga, you know that yoga is the way we unite our bodies with our souls. And so yoga, in some ways, to me, is a religious act as well, or a spiritual act. So I had a Sanskrit teacher come to me recently to make a sign for his fire temple. And while I was doing that, I became totally inspired. So yogis, or Sanskrit chanters, give thanks to God, basically, for fire. And fire brings transformation and death and destruction. But sometimes that can be a good thing, like in a forest fire where only some trees will spawn if the fire is hot enough, right? So the idea of being grateful for fire hit me because Holocaust means death by fire. And for me to come to a place of being grateful for the Holocaust really hit home for me. And so I decided our exhibit really needed a fire temple. So we would have a sign similar to the one I made, basically, you know, that says this is a fire temple. And we would have kind of a traditional fire pit here. And the way that we don't burn wood for this. This is actually cow dung and ghee that's burned, and it doesn't emit smoke. And so we would have people who are practicers of Sanskrit come and perhaps light the fire and do the Sanskrit chanting to welcome the transformational force of fire. But I thought that in this same space, it could be a place of memorial, not just for Holocaust, but for genocide and religious wars that are going on right now. We could have writing about the Tibetan Buddhist plight and the Dalai Lama, and we could have writing about the Holocaust. And you could come to this temple to say prayers that we can transform all of these past religious wrongs and make them right, either through this art or through our actions every day. And so I'm going to go through some of the artifacts that will be found within this, this fire temple on the following pages. One thing just to note is the barbed wire mezuzah that I showed earlier, my very first mezuzah, would be attached to the doorpost. So that was one symbol of the Holocaust there. And so here we're going to go through some different fire exhibits that will be inside this temple.